Ready now? Go. All right, guys, welcome to the fourth episode of the first round of Hot Sauce Battle 2020 in association with IamAVL. To start us off on this wonderful Saturday afternoon, we've got Steve and Brett. Thanks, guys.
I work my fingers to the bone. If that's what you needed, carry that weight all on my own. Is that what you needed from me? I'll cut my arm off at the shoulder to lend you a hand. Time keeps moving a little slower. Nobody wants a desperate man. All those new numbers in your phone, is that what you needed? You won't believe how much I've grown. Is that what you needed from me? I cut my leg off at the hip bone. Adjust all my plans, and I'm a stranger in my own home. Nobody wants a desperate man. Cut your head off at the throat. If I see you again, I know you know I'm home alone. Who goes there? Who goes there? Just a desperate man. Nobody wants a desperate man.
Thanks, Steven. Steven, what do you got going on while we've been during this time?
Not much, man. Just been trying to play some more music, just hanging out.
I think at the end of this, we're gonna have a lot of new music coming out from people that have just been sitting home and going through this tough time. It's not easy, but it's really cool.
Some good things will come out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, thanks for doing that. We're going to come back with a couple of tunes with you later. I'm sure Mark's got a beer for us. Do you want a beer or anything like that?
Right on, right on. Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Yeah, there's a cooler right down there.
So welcome back to the last round, the last part of the first round of the 2020 Hot Sauce Battle here at the Orange Peel, in association with IamAVL. Our sponsors have been Highland Brewing Company that we have Mark Conti with today. We had Gary Cernak from Bhramari earlier on, Wicked Weed yesterday, and Highwire yesterday as well. And we've also got a special prize for this, which is going to be coming from Firewalker Hot Sauce Company for the most different or way out there hot sauce. And I think we've got a couple of lead contenders for sure. Joe, what have your takeaways been so far of this 2020 Hot Sauce Battle?
Well, what I will say is there's been a lot of very close battles. There's been a lot of good competition, and as we said before, maybe it should have been a blind tasting, but we just drew out of the hat as far as the seeding went. And there's been like a couple of different instances where it's like, whoa, both of these sauces should be going to the Final Four, or could be going to the Final Four, depending on who's tasting them. But and there's also been the aspect that we're like, wow, if we mix those together, that would be a mega hot sauce. I mean, we did it yesterday and we did it again earlier this afternoon. And all y'all that are out there that made these sauces, that are watching and listening to us, take that into consideration and talk to each other and maybe come up with a collaboration. There's not a damn thing wrong with that. But people have brought a lot of good things to our respective tables here, and we're super stoked on it. It's been great competition so far. So,
and I think one of the cool things too is that we've learned, we've obviously got to find out what some local breweries are doing to help people, help locals, and how people are coming together during this time, and kind of showcase what some of the chefs are doing as well. There is a tip option which is on the stream as well, so you can tip the chefs. That kind of goes into a pool and will go towards a little extra on top of the prizes at the end of the day. I've been really happy to kind of see the support that we've had for this, and it is about Asheville, it's about the community, and so grateful to have you all here today. As I said, we got Mark Conti from Highland Brewing Company, and again this afternoon joining us is Jonathan Ammons. Our differing palettes were up on the show yesterday, and it was kind of fun to see. So I like having that different opinion,
For sure.
You guys want to go on and get started on the first one and see how we go?
Yeah,
What have we got?
may as well.
So this first battle is going to be, it's Mark Schmidt from Sovereign Remedies. Viral Interludes, Fire and Fuckery, Series number 1 is the name of this. So Fire and Fuckery number 1 versus Ghost Dog Hot Sauce. So there is some beer on the tables, and we have discovered that it does kind of split up a little, kind of level your palate off a little bit, although nothing too hoppy.
No, nothing too bitter, really. I mean, hoppy can accentuate it, but it's the real bitterness that those two build on. I actually brought our brand new New England style IPA. It just came out about a week and a half ago. We decided that even during the quarantine, man, we worked too hard on this thing. It was ready to rock and roll. So it's called the Rising Haze, beautiful New England IPA, 7%. Lots of Galaxy, Citra, Mosaic. Like the thing just kind of spills right out of the glass as you get it, or out of the can as you open it up. But the reason I chose this one especially was because of a little bit of sweetness and because of the tropical fruit. And I've been watching the episodes beforehand. A lot of people are, really bringing in those roasted pineapple and mango flavors and things like that. So the little bit of sweetness is going to help kind of smooth over that capsaicin, but hopefully we'll find some complement in there as well. But a dangerous one because it's a 7% and it drinks like it's a little bit of a session beer.
Well, I'm grateful for you bringing those beers in, and grateful for you guys being a part of it. So I guess we go first in. Fire and Fuckery is the one on the top right.
Top right.
Yep.
And you've got some chips on your table if you want them. Some of them need them, some of them not so much.
So this one.
Good kind of fruity notes.
Yeah, I was going to say vinegar and fruit right up front.
Very appley.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's an apple cider vinegar or something.
Well, it's a strawberry. Kind of made a loose strawberry jam from what I heard from Mark. Had 2-year fermented chili peppers, home infused vinegars, and
It's a little sweet on the front there.
yeah, the sweet
Then it
hits you
kind of
first.
kicks up with that.
It's,
like,
yeah,
The
it's making
spice
up for it
goes
on the back
through.
end for sure.
It does.
Building.
But yeah, South Carolina strawberries in there that he put in. Those were the notes that he gave to me about it, and a dash of alchemy fuckery. And then I was just like, alchemy fuckery, and he was just like, well, I was drinking a lot of tequila when I was making the sauce, so makes sense.
Isn't
yeah.
that how most hot sauces are made?
I feel like that's how a lot of beautiful things come into fruition is with a buzz on. So
Feeling just adventurous enough. What if I tried this?
yeah. Well, as far as the flavor goes, man, the heat is pretty constant and it's a level, but it's nice. Sweetness in the front, a little bit of acidity. I'm not sure what house infused vinegars that he used. I would, like Jonathan said, I would assume it's a cider vinegar base at some point, and maybe just a white vinegar after that.
Did he say he was making his own vinegars?
He said he was infusing them. So.
Because I know if you're making them, an easy way to make them is to take the mother of like a cider vinegar and just pour red wine or white wine on top, and
Yeah.
it'll just start making a.
No kidding.
Yeah, it'll just turn into a vinegar if you leave it uncovered.
I like it.
You know, covered with cloth for a month or two.
And as I've said, round by round, everybody remember to cleanse your palate with water or beer, so we don't intermingle the flavors of each sauce.
Yeah, I've got some Pilsners up here too if anybody needs that tongue scrubbing action.
Yeah, they work very
A
well.
little bit of
They
that.
work very well in that regard. I'm just going to open up this bad boy right
Do
here.
it, do it. Yeah, I also brought crowlers. We're doing crowlers to go on all of our small batch. And so we've been playing around a little bit. I think we've got a black mocha stout with raspberries, chocolate, and coffee. And then the one for you is the Star Chaser with hibiscus and tangerine.
Nice.
So a little bit about the second hot sauce that we've got going on. We've got Ben Colvin's Ghost Dog Hot Sauce. And this is a fermented habanero and scorpion hot sauce. I believe Ben is going to be starting his own, he is a local musician, but he's starting his own hot sauce company as well. So
Interesting.
It'll be interesting to try that.
I'm surprised that he called it Ghost Dog and there's not ghost peppers in there, but
Right?
Like a little bit smoky and then lots of citrus right up
Got a
front.
runny nose after that first one. It kind of got me going early,
Yeah, same here.
you know?
I don't know what that was because it didn't seem that spicy.
Yeah, something about it.
Yeah, but it definitely starts the sinuses going.
Wow, that lime or whatever citrus that is just jumps right on.
there's some serious tang there. I'm not sure whether it's from vinegar or citrus or a combination of it, but
And it's got that little spice, but it's not too overpowering, you know?
It's
There's
not letting
something-
up on the tongue. It's like back of the palate straight up.
There's something on the nose that it's like almost like a curry-ish kind of like a light curry or something maybe?
yeah, or that could be a cumin and coriander combination, maybe. I'm not sure what kind of spices are involved, but
You're getting the coriander on there for sure.
yeah,
that's
it could
good.
be coriander. Probably not cilantro, but coriander it's cilantro seeds. So I'd say it's probably coriander in there,
That's good.
if I had to guess.
Both good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really good.
that's a tough one. They both
Those are
have
both
like,
really good.
such different qualities to them.
And that's the thing while doing this as well is, we a lot of people are like, all right, well, have you got, certain scenarios here? Look, we've got 32 cool local chefs that have taken the time to do this. We unfortunately couldn't go like green salsa against green salsa, you know what I mean? Like, we had to just kind of do it randomly, but that's been kind of cool. It has worked out pretty well. So, Mark, you're new to the stage. You're gonna get the first vote, my friend.
Okay. It's hard, man, because, again, the fuckery, I actually like the heat on that one a little bit better. But the Ghost Dog to me has more complexity to it. It's like it starts off, the nose is smoky, you get a little bit of fruity, but then, the citrus really lifts and it's got a little bit more punch to it. It's a little bit of a coin flip, but just based on their own merits, I got to go Ghost Dog on this one.
Ghost Dog
All
gets
right.
the first one. Jonathan.
I'm gonna go the exact other direction. I think the Sovereign Remedies one has this fruitiness to it that you don't normally get. They're both really complex and really interesting
Yeah.
and really nuanced flavors. And they both got some kick to them, which is nice.
Yeah, they both definitely have some kick. I think that's one thing we maybe lacked a little bit in
Yeah.
the second round yesterday was until the last one. We did one, Mark, it was called Devil Baby. And it came in at about 2 million Scoville.
Glad it was the last one.
Yeah,
And-
yeah, that was
we are too.
the best way to set it up.
So, Joe.
Well, they're both really good, but front to back and overall flavors for me, I'm gonna have to go with the first one from Mark Schmidt. I love the sweetness that was immediate, and then you got the acidity and the heat, and it all balanced through. I really enjoyed it. They're both slightly similar in a way.
Yeah.
But yeah, the first one from Mark Schmidt gets the mark for me on this one. So
Well, we have, if there's a tie, John, who's doing sound, is going to be the tiebreaker for this afternoon. We had Jeff Santiago doing the tiebreakers earlier on. And I like the first one. I think it was good. I like both of them. I think they're great. The sweetness kind of threw me off a little bit on the front end of it. So I'm going to actually go with Ben Colvin's Ghost Dog on that one, which brings us to a 2-2 tie. So John, if you want to come up, you can be the decider on this one. I'm not going to tell you which one is which. On your right will be number 1, and on your left will be number 2. And I'll give you a little room here so we can socially distance correctly in these ties.
then this is 3 tiebreakers today already. We only had one yesterday,
Yeah.
the entire day.
We
I
may
don't-
have to do 5 judges next week.
Yeah, I mean, we got the space to do that, so yeah, we can work
Which one
that
is
out.
it? These two?
Number 1 on your right, number 2 on your left.
Cool.
Which one do you like better, number 1 or number 2?
Camera 1, camera 2. Camera 1.
I like number 1 a lot. I like that sweetness and that fruitiness. Not very hot, but y'all were talking about it creeping up on you.
Definitely creeps.
Yeah, oh
Yeah, I feel it a little bit now.
yeah, the heat comes through. I'm trying it again as we speak.
Oh yeah, there it is. I like a slow burn like that.
I like that. I like that one that reduces men to their knees kind of thing, where they go, "I'm tough, I've got it, that's easy," and then they walk away and you see it just hit them, and they're like,
Oh, that's really tough.
"It's close, huh?"
That's really close. I'm giving it to number 2. I just like that smokiness.
Number 2 gets it.
Smoky
That's,
2, Ghost Dog.
that's gonna be
That's Ghost Dog.
Ghost Dog and Ben Colvin for the win on that one.
Is he the one that plays for the Plum Jam?
Yes,
Okay.
I think.
So-
I know he's a musician. I don't know
Yeah.
about that, but yeah. All right.
All right, man, that was tough. Any time it comes down to a tiebreaker, you know it was a good matchup.
So,
Mark Schmidt made a good sauce, but
killer sauce. Very, I mean, again, Asheville should be really proud of what we brought out.
yeah, man, we've had some good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really
Sure.
good stuff.
So, Mark Conti with Highland Brewing Company, tell us a little bit about what you guys are doing during this time.
So, I mean, as you know, all bars and restaurants being doors shut, and including tasting rooms and all that too, we started to pick up the curbside to-go service. So you can get plenty of our small batch in these lovely crowlers, and then you can always, I just had 1 beer tonight.
How many ounces of Crowler?
32.
Okay.
So yeah, it's basically like a half growler in can fill. But yeah, I've got the Pineapple Peaks Pale, and then we've got some sours and some other infusions and different things like that. But we wouldn't be here. Obviously, we're Asheville's original brewery, but we wouldn't be here without the community support. So giving back 10% of all of our to-go sales are going straight to One Bunkum. So anybody
cool.
who's lost employment due to COVID, and then locally owned small businesses, loans are going out to both of those are actually they're not loans, they're just support.
Just grants?
And then we actually did an internal fundraiser amongst the Highland staff for Helpmate. Everybody's kind of hunkered down at home right now, and for some folks, home is not necessarily a safe place to be. So we did a fundraiser within the staff, and then Highland was nice enough to match that, so we raised about $5,000 for Helpmate. Just keep on doing the good work out there, guys. We love Helpmate. We partner with them a lot. And then, like I said, we came out with the Rising Haze, and actually we've come out with 2 new packages during the shutdown, which is kind of interesting. We weren't going to put the brakes on it, but we've got our Trailbound Sampler Pack, which is another addition to the Variety Pack family with Gaelic, Star Chaser, AVL, and Pilsner. So, better together even though we're further apart. And then the Rising Haze as well. That New England IPA showed up on shelves, I believe, last week. So all of those things combined, and then, the team's just, trying to rock it as well as they can. There's no shortage of work to do. It's just a lot different now.
Yeah, good on y'all. Keep working. May as well. And I'm sure everyone that every local brewery has seen a spike as far as the retail and the grocery stores go. Which it helps y'all out a little bit. You don't have the accounts at the bars, but people are still buying beer at the store, and I still get some Highland here and there.
I miss sitting across the bar from you, Joe.
Yeah.
Our
I miss sitting at the bar with you more.
Our beer reps kind of, you guys don't normally, you'll go into bars and do fun promotions and whatnot. Are you guys kind of going into the grocery stores and jockeying for like the best position, who can, you go in there and you go, all right, well, I don't like this beer's going to the back of the shelf, and I'm just going to put Highland up front.
I wish. The shelves are set in big boardroom meetings that are beyond that, but we have been out merchandising and restocking and just supporting that effort because,
Cool.
Especially as when things first started, there was just a huge run on grocery.
Yeah.
So we're very lucky to have, our local retail grocery partners and, some homegrown folks there helping us out. But yeah, we've been out there shoulder to shoulder with Skyline Distributing, just pulling shelves and making sure that we can get as much beer to people as we can. And then, shout out to Highland, man. Like, they have kept every single person employed, even the event staff and all of our tasting room folks, finding different projects to do, whether it's, painting, redoing the lines in the cooler, landscaping. We've got trails out at Highland now that we've been working on for a while. The trails are actually open, so socially distance on the trails and come get your beer afterwards. So there's about, on that property, which is about 40 acres, as you guys know, we've cut probably about 1.5 mile loop all the way around through the woods.
Very cool.
That's really cool, man, yeah.
Been able to, everybody's just been super helpful, been able to pivot a little bit, and there's been no well, that's not in my job description. Everybody's just really, really hopping, and so great crew of people to work with. And
now you guys were also planning on putting some volleyball courts out there as well. Are they up and running?
They are not up and running, but they are still rocking. We've got all the electric in. We were actually able to use the dirt from that to regrade the meadow and reseed it. So without people being out there for concerts, and lush grass is growing in the meadow, so it'll be ready for folks when they
Haven't
reopen.
seen that. Haven't
It
seen
won't
that
be
in
a
few
meadow
years.
anymore.
It won't be a meadow, it'll be a meadow. Thank you, Primus. Appreciate that.
The mud was still fun, man.
It was a blast. Now I think it was actually St. Paul and the Broken Bones did the most damage to it, and then we just maintained that with
Not them personally.
not them personally, of course. It was the raging fans and the torrential downpour. But an awesome time.
I think we joked at some point if there was ever a drought, all we needed to do was have the Orange Peel do a show out at Highland Brewing Company, and it would instantly rain.
Guaranteed.
So that being said, let's go into our second hot sauce here. We have from Erveg and Lily Romero, we have La Mera Mera Manzanera, which is chili manzano, apples, pineapple, habanero, onion, garlic, lime, and salt. And that's going up against Gary Cernak. Hell's Pavement.
Hell's Pavement. That's an interesting. That's an original name.
And they're both a little bit different in style and how they did them.
And we do have set up spoons for certain ones that might be a little thicker.
It's almost like a chutney.
You mean this one that looks
yeah.
like a chutney? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about, Erveg a little bit better than I do. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously I know him from working at Lori's back in the day.
Yeah. Everybody worked at Lori's for quite a while, and he's been making salsas and hot sauces for years at home. He's been retailing them some at farmers markets and setting up his own company. He actually worked for me a little bit when I was running the kitchen at the Southern, and just a heck of a guy, and a hell of a cook, chef, and he's a good sauce maker.
It's got good balance, not too much heat. I like it. What else is he doing right now? Does he have working in a food truck or something, or are they selling these hot sauces, or?
They're selling them. They make them out of their home. They live up around Reams Creek, and aside from that, I'm not sure. You know, raising his family, I think they have 3 children at this point, and that's really sweet.
It's good. He's got a nice little bit of a kick on the backside of it, though. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to do it straight up with the spoon. The chip was kind of disguising it a little bit.
Yeah.
Where would you use this? That's my one qualm with this, is I feel like it has very limited applications.
Yeah.
Well,
It's a good
Not to be the
question.
Simon Cowell over here, but
You could be the Simon Cowell. It's okay.
well, I feel like the sweet, smoky, spicy. Not to sound typical, but it would work pretty well on pork. If you had roasted pork loin, or let's say you smoked a pork shoulder, or there's a way of doing a pork shoulder. It's Puerto Rican. It's called panin. It's spelled pernil, but they pronounce it panin, and you slow roast it after you marinate it overnight. Well, you don't necessarily marinate it. You season it with herbs and spices, like oregano, parsley, and you mash it all together and make a paste with the garlic. This would be perfect on that, or some chicharrones.
Yeah.
You know, some fried crispy pork skins. I think it'd be fabulous on that.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see this on a hot dog.
Oh yeah.
I can see this on even dressing up like a Thai dish of some sort.
Yeah.
But I
mean,
can't see this on
it-
eggs.
It would be.
Correct.
I can't see this on the places where I most commonly use hot sauce.
Yep.
It could be a spread. Like, what would you use chow chow on? You know what I
Right.
mean?
And see, I would say this
similar
would be the
type of
same
thing,
application
or
as
a
fucking chow
chutney.
chow.
I think it would be good on duck.
But I see chow chow
Use
as
it
more
like
of a
glaze
slaw than a
almost. That
sauce.
sweetness in there.
Sorry.
I see chow chow as more of a slaw than a sauce. And this feels like a spicy chow chow to me.
Yeah, I mean, this would be in the salsa category, but
Yeah.
but it's dense. It's tasty. I don't want to stop eating it.
It is.
but
I
am.
think. I think that's one of the things. Is like some of these things. You know, depending on how people look at it, right? I think if you make a thicker sauce, it's like, you know, something that you can sit there with like some chips and just eat it. Which I think something
Right.
like this you could quite easily
totally.
do. Something else is like more to just enhance your dish that you're making or something, or you
Yeah.
know, just to give it a little. Personally, I just do it because I like everything a little spicy.
You know, now that you mention it, I think
Here-
a chip would
everybody-
be perfect with that.
Everybody does different sauces off and on, and like I said, look out for him at the local tailgate markets, because he'll show up at some point over the summer when, you know,
Cool.
selling his stuff. So
Awesome.
let's roll on to the next one.
I will say on that
heat
one,
is
I do
really
really
built.
like
I
the
was
sweetness.
not getting a lot of heat on that on the front.
Oh
and
no,
it's
it's,
all
it's
under
still
my tongue now.
it's still coming. So yeah, another
Then we
sweet
got
one.
Hell's Pavement, and I like the logo that we did here. That's pretty good.
Who did this one?
This is Gary Cernak over at Bhramari Brewing Company.
Yeah, who helped us judge before.
Yes.
Has nothing to do with this round, but his brewery did sponsor us.
We all know
so-
he just voted for all of the worst ones on the last one, just to set it up for an easy round next time.
There were most of them. The other, I think 2 out of 4, we had to get someone else out to kind of vote because it was so close. So,
Right.
you know, it was. We thought about that. We thought, having Gary on here, does that really? No. I mean, everyone's pretty honest, and it's just fun competition at the end of the day.
Wow, very acidic up front.
It's kind of a classic Tabasco style
Yeah,
thing.
it's got that aged oaky type of
Yeah.
kick to it, right up front.
Sat in a barrel, like.
One of
Yeah.
those with enough vinegar that if you put just a little on, it still lets you know it's there.
That's good.
Ooh, the heat's nice. It's slow.
It is slow. All right.
Just try a little bit.
There's very, very different sauces here for us.
Oh, way different.
To vote
Yeah.
on, you know?
This is apples and oranges.
Yeah. All right, apples and oranges. Jonathan Hammonds, you go first on this one, I think.
Man, it's a tough one. Because this one, I do really like the sweetness, the chutney aspect of it, even though that's not normally my favorite kind of thing. So I think I'm a little biased to vote against this. So I'm going to go for Gary's, but yeah, this was really good still, but I just don't see as many uses for this.
Right.
But, but Gary's I would put on anything, you know?
Yeah, for sure. All right. Joe, what you got?
Well, like we said before, they're both very different. I mean, this might be the biggest difference, disparity,
Yeah.
On all of them.
dichotomy, whatever you want to say, that we've had the entire time as far as matchup wise. I mean, you got one that's more of a salsa / chutney, and then more that's like in the vein of a Tabasco hot sauce. And that being said, I disagree that the first one couldn't be versatile, because it could be, and it is what it is. Is it a table hot sauce? No.
I just wouldn't put that on chili.
You wouldn't?
Nah.
No?
Nah.
Well, hopefully chili doesn't need any more hot sauce if it's prepared properly. But, I mean, the flavor's so good, I would spread it on an English muffin or a bagel or something.
Cream cheese, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to vote for Airbase, even though Gary's is really good. And I like that, you know, kind of charry, oaky bite in the beginning, but that flavor hung with me, and where I'm still tasting the heat. I give the first one a slight advantage here. So,
Mark, it's you and me to vote. Do you want to have the deciding vote?
Flip a coin, man. I'm good either way. I think I've got my mind made up.
I'll vote for this one then. I'm gonna go. I like Hervé's as well. Again, very different. I love the flavor, but I think, you know, for me, more of a traditional hot sauce, but that getting that hit of heat, and I think that's something I really look for. If you're gonna have a hot sauce, you gotta have some kind of a kick, and it hit me right. So I'm gonna go with Gary for Bhramari on that one.
And even though Hervé sauce pairs better with the rising haze, those tropical flavors, like that I could do that all day. That's great. I got to go with Hell's Pavement. You know, the complexity of it, like you said, you know, you've got like the kind of like the tannic, oaky aspect to it, the real nice heat, that pepper on the back of the palate. Yeah, I'm going with Gary.
all right.
So that means that Devil Ghost Dog will be going up in the next round against Hell's Pavement. So that's going to be a good one.
That'll be a good matchup.
Oh yeah, that'll be a hell of a matchup right there.
So Mark, you mentioned something earlier on about, you know, about during this time, a lot of people that work in the industry having a hard time, you know. How are there things set up, and Jonathan, you may be able to kind of lend an ear to this, to help support people maybe through, you know, just needing some general support as a human, mental health support, or are there things set up in Asheville or in Buncombe County that can help, whether it be musicians or, you know, out of work restaurant workers, chefs, or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, we've got, if you go to AshevilleStrong.com, they've got a lot of resources for people and can direct both out-of-work employees as well as people who are employed and want to lend a hand and donate to places to help. And they're able to, they're one of the first groups to respond to this, and they've been able to really lock in and try to find organizations that will provide relief here and direct people to those organizations. And I mean, there's also places you can get food relief with Food Connection and places like that. They were doing a big dinner today, you know, just up at the Masonic Temple for out-of-work restaurant employees. There are people moving and shaking to do that, and I think Asheville Strong is a good place to go to find the basic directory of where to go for help. You know.
Yep. And there's also, I think, AMP, which is
Definitely.
They've
Asheville Music
also,
Professionals.
Also set something up as well.
Yeah.
I think you can sign up for AMP right now, and then they're doing something at the Civic Center, is it? I believe they're going to feed everyone on the 15th. I could be wrong on the date, but I know something's
Oh, really?
coming up with
I
those
hadn't
guys.
even heard about that one.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I'll send you a link when we get
Yeah.
off of this. So very cool.
Yeah, I mean, the amount of groups that have come together and rallied for this stuff is impressive. And also, just your local food pantries are accessible if you need that. You know, there's no way to go hungry in this if you can get to these places, because there are so many people that are able to feed you. And the grocery stores are so overstocked that they are able to they're donating so much food right now. And it's just a really, you know, all that food that would have otherwise gone into restaurants is now going to food pantries. And a lot of restaurants are setting up as food pantries or as grocery stores. So there are plenty of alternative ways of getting what you need.
I've definitely heard of a lot of restaurants setting up as food pantries for their staff.
Yeah.
Where they can come in, or even or to place their orders through local purveyors and just come in and boom, they've got everything. And it's cheaper often and local, rather than having to go to one of the chain grocery stores.
Yeah, Biscuit Head did that. They had to lay off nearly 100 employees.
Mm-hmm.
So they set up their stores as food pantries for their staff, and even at Easter, had Easter baskets for the kids.
That's fantastic.
And stuff.
And they've also included other service industry folks that are laid off. Like, if you need something, come by, and if they have it, they'll help you out. Yeah, we mentioned that yesterday in the first segment. So they've been great about that, and a lot of restaurants have, especially taking care of your own. You know,
I agree.
in a situation like this, if you have the means, help someone out, especially those that help you out on a consistent basis. I mean, that's what it's all about.
Yep. And if you're in the service industry, like the bar guilds, the restaurant associations, all those places have resources and have people that are still on staff, and you can call them and ask questions, and they will direct you where you need to go.
Right.
And it's just, there's plenty of people that have all of that information that is specific to what you do, and groups that might be offering relief for specifically what you do. So.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, one of our community partners, Mana Food Bank, we've been doing a lot with them recently throughout this, making sure that happens. They're struggling for volunteers right now. So if anybody's feeling happy, healthy, wants to social distance and pack some boxes and get those out there, it's a great way to spend some of your downtime. And then Asheville City Schools has been doing, I know, Oakley Elementary and a bunch of other schools around the area have been acting as, kind of mobile food pantries and utilizing their buses and their kitchens to really get it out there and make sure that, unfortunately, there are a lot of kids who the meals that they eat are provided, in school, breakfast, lunch, and a snack. So making sure that that's kept going is really awesome. So good on them.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, let's jump into this third hot sauce, guys.
Yeah.
We've got this is going to be Rob McAdams with Rochambeau.
Never heard of it.
Rob grows his own peppers and does work here at the Orange Peel. No bias, I swear. And then Brian Stout. Tell me a little bit about Brian Stout.
Brian runs the kitchen currently at Black Mountain Ale House.
Okay. Yeah.
Obviously in Black Mountain. But also he's been a part of and kind of an underdog or overlooked in the Asheville culinary scene over the past decade and a half, because he was the culinary arts teacher, culinary arts instructor at Asheville High for about 12 years, I think. And so he did that, and I believe, I don't want to misspeak here, I believe the funding got cut for that department, so he was basically like a foods class home ec teacher the last year or so.
Okay.
And it basically had run its course for him. He wanted to, get back into restaurant work. Prior to that, he worked off and on at the marketplace for years.
Okay.
He's been in the area for close to 20 years at this point in time. He and I actually worked together at where the ale house is now. In 2005, I think it was, a restaurant opened there called Cellar Door in Black Mountain.
I remember the cellar door.
Yeah, we worked there together. It was a wine bar / casual fine dining. So the guy has chops, and like I said, he's kind of like an unsung hero. I mean, he taught a lot of high school kids how to cook over the years, but you can imagine how frustrating that could be with trying to teach teenagers the nuances of good food and classic techniques, which is what he tried to do.
Trying to get them to wash their hands is hard enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Make your bed. What? No. Can't imagine.
So, and yeah, I've known Brian for a long time, and I'm sure he's going to bring some heat to the table. So,
Cool.
yeah, let's go ahead and,
Straight in with Rob.
So the first one's Rob's.
yeah.
Very tomatoey on this one.
Whole like kind of thing.
Really? I had one of those last time.
Almost pasta saucy, I'm gonna say.
Really?
Yep.
Like a Fra Diavolo or something?
Well, it's just super tomato pasty.
No, I get what you're saying, John.
Like that's almost the dominant flavor is that kind
It
of
hits
pasta
you
sauce
right up
tomato.
front. Yep.
Yeah.
Not as hot as I thought it was going to be.
No, and it didn't even smell hot.
Maybe that's just because of the round, the particular hot sauces that we've had today. Because we've had.
It could have been the previous
No,
ones we
but
have had heat.
overall the heat's mild to medium on this one, I'd say. I mean, we have had some hot ones since we started this segment, but
Yeah, you can hold this one on your tongue and it's not burning.
Yeah.
no. You
It's nice on the
you
front
taste
of the
the
palate.
heat, but
like a little bit sweeter sits up.
the heat's there, but there's overall it's not too bad.
Rob just texted me. He said, all cayenne, no potatoes. I'm going to need no tomatoes.
I was gonna say
No potatoes, I would hope not.
Hey guys, there's no potatoes in this hot sauce.
No tomatoes in this one at all.
All cayenne, no tomatoes.
Was he using a vinegar, a certain type of vinegar? I wonder.
I'm sure he'll text me in a minute because I think he's watching live.
Clearly, fill us in on what all's in this.
So
Okay. All right. The Rising Haze definitely ups that heat a little bit though.
Yeah.
I've got a little bit of 12-year Jameson left from earlier on. I'm gonna. sneak that in.
so
I don't
Brian's
want to do it.
You bastard. Didn't share with the rest of us.
You're not allowed to share, Joe.
I know. But the bottle, you could have shared the bottle.
You can have some here.
no, it's empty.
Is it?
Yeah,
How
Or
did
were
you
you trying to
finish
play
a
a
bottle
joke on
of
him?
12-year with
that's
four
an empty
of you?
bottle.
That's an empty bottle.
Those bastards.
Why did you leave that there?
There were 4 of you
You
here.
bastard! We didn't finish that off. I had one shot of that.
All right, Jameson is no longer a sponsor of it.
Yeah, get Jameson out of here.
Thanks, Matt. You're real funny if you're watching this one.
So, Brian's sauce, I guess, is half habanero cucumber combined with half year fermented cayenne sauce, ginger garlic, and oregano.
Oh, I gotta get a palate cleanser after that last
Did you
one.
say there was cucumber in there?
Said habanero cucumber is half of it.
Yeah, but you can that cucumber, like that freshness and vibrancy of the cucumber, like really kind of helps mellow it out. Although there's like still a kick in it, you know?
There's a lot going on in that second.
Yeah, that's like a hot sauce I've never had before. I like that.
Oh, I taste the oregano immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good balance there.
Interesting texture, too.
Yeah,
Very
and
gelatinous.
the color and viscosity is great. It could be a table sauce easily, and this could be one of those type of sauces that are pan cuisine. Like you could use it on different types of cuisine. You could use it on Caribbean stuff, Central American, Mexican food. You could use it on Mediterranean food, I think.
Yeah, that's a pretty universal flavor on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well balanced though, man.
And there's a smokiness, too.
Yeah, that
That's
will
really
come
nice.
from the habanero, I guess.
Well,
And I was going to say that habanero is kind of continuing to build too.
yeah.
Wow, it's really tasty.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a tough one. Rob just texted me. He said his is a vinegar, garlic, ghost pepper, and chipotle with all cayennes. So, but yeah, it does hit you with that like
Tomatoey kind
something
of
yeah.
up front. I mean, I assume it's kind of the way that like a wine gets described as having all sorts of berries or whatever in it, and it doesn't. It's just grapes.
Yep.
But in the same way, when you process foods a certain way, they take on other flavors.
Yep. All right. Who wants the first vote on this one, guys?
John, what do you think? You there yet?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the second one.
Second one?
I think it's just more, like that's been the thing I keep coming back to is like, I don't have a ton of hot sauces in the house, and most of the ones I have, I want them to be able to spread across a few things. And that one just seems like the most universally applicable of these flavors.
Yeah, I'd keep that one out. I'd keep it on just about everything. I'm number 2 as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the first one that I've actually, after I took some, I went and got a little bit more.
I did the same thing.
You know?
Drank it. Yeah.
I poured
I mean,
some on a chip,
seriously.
and I mean, Fairby's been drinking all of them pretty much. I put chips out for him, but he rarely uses them. But I'm also going to go for number 2 on this one, Brian's.
Killer, Brian.
Very good.
Yeah,
Complex flavors, spicy. The heat still hit my tongue, but it was light at the same time.
Yep.
The color was vibrant. It was fresh. It was, I mean, nothing against Rob's. Rob's, yours was really good too.
Yeah.
You did good work, but yeah, I got to go with Brian's here.
Yeah, I think Rob and I have, Rob's definitely been a driving force behind me getting into the hot sauces with, he grows his own peppers. He dried a bunch for a bunch of staff members this year.
Whenever you're growing and harvesting your own stuff, yeah, I mean, that gives you a little extra point. You know, I love that.
And it's going to be a sweeter sauce too, because when you're buying those store-bought peppers, they've been traveling. They're going to be more acidic. They're not going to be as sweet as the ones that you're pulling out of your own garden.
Right.
So it's going to be a completely different flavor than you're used to if you're making sauce out of.
Yeah.
Which most of the restaurants, if you're used to scratch-made hot sauces at restaurants, they will have been store delivered a lot of the times. You know. Like, so.
Oh, another thing that I'll point out about Brian as well. He for at least 10 years, if not more, he did farming and gardening at Camp Rockmont out at Lake Eden. You
Nice.
know, helped out with their produce, and they do a great job out there with what they do. So
Yeah, my vote is going to be for Brian as well. He
wow,
did
it's a sweep. Yeah, and
It's really good. It's well balanced. It's got good heat. You
It's
know,
a whole mouth heat too.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
but I really like how that cucumber habanero just kind of mellows it out a little bit and just makes it a little bit more.
such good balance, man. Really.
That's going to be a tough one to beat.
Yeah, there's a lot of flavor that lingers before you get the heat.
Who's left to vote? We all voted on that one?
Yeah, it's 4.
It was a sweep.
That was it?
Yeah, but that was a sweep.
Well, I'm
Sorry,
gonna-
Rob, yours was really
I'm going
good.
to take mine and give it to Rob just so he's got 1 point. I think that's fair. Rob's done a
All
really
right.
good job kind of helping us like promote
Yeah, of
this
course,
on,
and-
on Facebook through the Orange Peel. Yeah.
No, Rob, yours was really good, man. Yours was really good. Yeah.
He said thank you. He just texted me.
Respect.
He didn't say thank you. I'll tell you what he said later. All right. So that brings us on to our. Does anyone have anything else going on right now? I mean, while we've got a couple of minutes, we've been bringing it in around about this hour-long mark. Anything that they want to share, or Joe? I mean, if you got some front runners that you're thinking of that are going through this, or is anyone that's popped up, or are you just kind of like, all right, we'll see each battle at a time and just go one against one and go from there.
Well, just take a look back at the bracket so far before we get into this last matchup of the day. I hate to keep harping on it, but the last, well, it wasn't the last. It was the third battle of the day yesterday between Sam Etheridge and Shane Casto. Can I just talk about again how fucking close that was? And just, I mean, insane. John, you tasted Sam's sauce.
Yeah,
you
they were
tasted both
both
of them.
really, really good.
And I mean, Shane's was it wasn't curry heavy, but the curry was there. It was fresh, vibrant, mustardy, just a beautiful curry
Both
hot
of those
sauce.
were better than most store-bought sauces that you're gonna get.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm stealing some of it and taking it home. I mean, we'll fight over it, Justin.
No, that was literally.
Oh, you
that
got
was
a
the
bad
one from
hip, I got a
yesterday
bad
that
back.
I wanted to try when you guys were doing it.
Yeah. I mean, like I was saying earlier, those easily we blind drew this, but if those were on opposite sides of this bracket,
Oh, they could be going
They would've been the finalists.
They would have been going for the championship.
For sure.
And Brian's was pretty good as well. Would have been right up there. And Blake's, the Devil Boner. I'm calling it Devil Boner or Devil Dong from
It's like a bifurcated.
Devil Dong. Bifurcated dong.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, well, it bifurcated my tongue in a good way because the heat was good, the heat was proper, and it may not be last next time, so we might have to have some sherbet up here or something to cool our tongues down the next time we taste, because that's been the hottest one so far. That's been the hottest hot sauce.
It's
that
gonna
we've
have to
tasted.
go last, I think, on the competition.
I mean, do we have control over that? I mean, we do, but it is what it is. And
Probably not. I mean, we've got to be fair. We got to be fair to everyone. So.
But there's been so many close matchups. Like most of them haven't been hands down victories. And thank you so much, everyone that has put your time, effort, energy, and love into the sauce that you brought us, because they've all been great, and we're having a great time doing this. I don't know how my bowel movements are going to be for the next day or two, but I'm not going to get too graphic about it. But I'm doing all right, man.
Yeah,
No,
I mean,
and like to your point, Joe. Even though we're like up here being critical about these and picking them apart, everyone has been fantastic.
No, man,
and each on their own merits has just been like different and at a seriously high level. I mean, I keep on going back to that chutney. I'm like thinking about more stuff that I can use that on.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, I've only judged 2 rounds of this so far, and I haven't had anything that I wouldn't buy.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
And they're all killer. Like I'd put any of these on my table. And I judge a lot of food competitions, and that's not always the case. I kind of dread food competitions because usually a good quarter of what you get is just inedible, just like garbage. But this
we
is.
talked about that birthday cake.
Oh my God, that is the
Birthday
worst.
cake chicken
You,
wing?
yeah, we
Wait.
judged that competition together. It was
Yeah.
so bad.
Yeah.
And that
birthday
wasn't
cake
even the
thing.
worst thing on that. There was a wing that was practically boiled that day. That was just gummy, and it was just you couldn't even bite into it.
You don't want that. Who
It
wants
was so bad.
Oh.
And I think that's what you kind of get used to if you judge a lot of food competitions. So to sit down at this and have like every single thing be good and decent and a quality effort is good job. Y'all are crushing it out
there.
there.
Let me ask you guys real quick, and I'm just curious because people have tried some of my hot sauce and like, all right, I'd buy this, and I'm like, all right, cool. I'm not going to start a hot sauce business by any means. If you're buying a small bottle like this that's locally made, for any of the guys that are looking at starting their own hot sauce, how much are you going to pay for something? How much would you pay? Because I know that there's a lot of love and attention that goes into something like this.
Well, especially if it's locally made, farmed by local peppers, local produce. I know you can't get local everything when it comes to. I mean, you can do your best, but I mean, I'd say average like $4 to $5 a bottle or something like that. Anything above that is it could be $6, but for most of these are about 8-ounce bottles.
Yeah.
That's pretty much standard of hot sauces when you buy them. So
That could
I
be
would
another
pay-
standard for judging. Is what would you pay for this sauce?
yeah, I mean,
You know what I mean? Yeah, because there's some of the sauces I'm like, all right, I'll pay $5 for all that.
Right.
There's a couple that I'm like, you know what? I'd pay $10 for a small
Right.
bottle of
And
hot
I mean,
sauce.
especially if you're talking about somebody who's like doing this from their home, who's
Yeah.
Yeah.
growing the peppers themselves, who's found an outlet to it, who like obviously that whoever whatever retailer is taking some sort of cut from it.
Exactly.
So,
right.
I
mean, you
think about all
go,
that.
yeah, you can go to Ingles or Harris Teeter and get an 8-ounce bottle of Crystal or Texas Pete for $2.
Right.
And those are great, and I love both of those. But these are people in our community making these. So, yeah, would I mind paying $5, $6, $7 for one of these? Absolutely not. Absolutely
And it
not.
lasts you forever, you know?
Yeah, it's gonna
really
it's gonna
long
make a
time
lot of
build
my
goes a long
meals
way.
way better.
Yeah.
Most of these sauces that we've had. So, yeah, good job, everyone.
All right.
Let's get on to the last tasting of the first round.
The last one we've got, and this is a good one. We've got Eli Scott from the Med. He gave me a little information. I'm going to look it up real quick. And we got Brian Bennett from Zombra, and this is conspiracy theory. And he made his own label, and it had a bunch of bats flying around and an image of Bill Gates in the background. He got nice and creative with that one.
We got two Zombra entries in the back.
2 Zombra entries. That's right. So.
I like that we're,
You
you know,
said what
two
the-
of the
what was the
oldest
first one?
restaurants in Asheville up against each other.
It's from I don't know. Wait,
So what?
conspiracy theory is
Yeah,
Brian
it's
Bennett.
Brian
It's
Bennett.
Bennett.
Yeah, I don't know if we have a name for Eli's from the Med.
We do. I'm just pulling this up real quick. Hot sauce name is the Sphinx. Primary peppers Carolina Reaper with some habanero,
That has some
cherrywood
heat.
smoked onion and apple for the main flavor profiles. Since the lockdown, his business partners in collaboration with Ivy Road Cafe have been preparing donation-based meals for essential health care workers, from nurses at Mission Hospital to EMT paramedic crews in Asheville Fire Department.
Right on, man.
As a whole,
Yeah.
they've served
That's awesome.
over 2,000 meals in the past few weeks.
Solid.
And that's
Wow.
pretty special.
Thank you.
So,
Awesome.
right.
This has got some serious heat. I think this might be the hottest one we've tasted so far.
Really? All right.
Really?
Thanks for the heads up.
Yeah. All right.
Are y'all not
Oh,
getting
and it
it?
fools you with the sweetness up front. It's like nice
Yeah.
nice and fruity right off the bat, and then
That's got a little smoky on the back,
Uh-huh.
though. It hits you with it's complex. It hits you with that fruit, then the smoke, and then the kick.
That's got to be Scotch bonnet.
sharp. Yeah.
At least part of it has to be Scotch bonnet.
There is a
I would
lot of
think.
sweetness to the pepper itself, yeah.
Yeah. Sweet, smoky, and hot. Like, yeah.
Yeah, that's going to linger with me for a while. That's a nice one.
Cleanse that palate, John. We got one more to go.
Good call. Good call.
I'm going to cleanse it with a little bit of this rising haze, followed by a little bit of 12-year Jameson.
That ought to do it.
See, I didn't
Between
say
that and a chip, you'll be just
I
fine.
didn't save my whiskey from last time. I just drank. No, that's drinking whiskey,
That's
not
drinking
looking
whiskey.
And this isn't looking beer either.
Eli, that was a good one. If he's watching.
You know what
Good
we should
job.
get up here for the next round is salt shakers for those chips.
Yeah.
That'll help kill that heat if you have residual heat.
Yeah, just a shaker would be cool. We don't want to salt the chips necessarily because we want to
Right.
pretty much blank
Be able to,
canvas
like,
for the tasting.
Be
but-
able to kill heat if you need to.
Right, yeah,
Yeah.
gotcha.
All right. I got that sniffles. Those sniffles.
That conspiracy
Are we
theory, though.
finally finding a sauce hot enough for you here?
I mean, they're all hot enough. I mean, I feel them, but I'm just saying, like, when people go, "Oh, this is gonna," I'm like, once you mix it with butter and you make a hot sauce and toss your chips in, your
Right.
wings in, I think it tastes takes half of that heat away.
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah, this is gonna be tough.
I haven't gone on the second one yet. Let me get this perfect chip out of here. And I'll just break this one in half.
Okay.
Very viscous sauce.
Yeah. Once again, good color. They had very similar color and viscosity, these last two.
Yeah, this is head to head, man. The consistency is almost spot on.
It's very, very similar. And as I said, it was a random choice, but a lot of these competitions have been super close. And a lot of similar styles, too. This is another one that's like on point. Real testament to some of the chefs we have here.
Oh, man.
There is a
you-
lot of talent in this town. I mean, there's a lot of great restaurants, a lot of great food, a lot of great farms, a lot of great everything food-wise. But we have props to all of us, all of y'all out there for the talent pool in this town, and we'll put it back together and hopefully be better than ever, because some of y'all are making me very happy tasting this stuff.
The acidity on this one is
that's
killer.
tough.
Really spot on.
That's all right. First vote, Mark Conti.
Oh, put me on the spot here, man. It's
Yep.
it's tough because both of them do like. We got a little bit more smoke and fruit on the first one, a little bit more vinegar on the second one, but they both start off with that nice sweetness and a lot of flavor, and then the heat on both of them just builds, and it's like I'd say like 7, 8 out of 10 on the heat with both of them. They're just
Yeah, I thought the heat levels on both were pretty comparable.
Yeah.
And this is just personal preference. That vinegar lifts it a little bit more for me, and it makes it a little bit more provides a little bit more continuity throughout the whole sauce. I'm going number 2.
Number 2. Jonathan.
I gotta revisit this one.
I did that on that too. I like took them both separately, and then I went back and did them with the chips because I was looking for something a little bit different.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and throw my vote in for number 2 as well, for Eli from the Med. It just had a little bit more. They were very similar. They're both very good.
Number 2 is Brian Bennett.
I'm sorry?
First one was Eli. Second one was Brian Bennett.
Okay, that's not how it's set up on the bracket. Oh, well, that changes everything. So
So the first one we tried was Eli's.
okay.
Second one was Brian Bennett.
All right, gotcha. So my vote goes to Brian Bennett from Zombra.
All right.
Again, very similar, both very good, but the second one has had just a little more pop for me.
Yep.
With the brightness, citrus, acidity, yeah, and the heat was right there. I mean, it's kind of a deadlock
Yeah.
with
They're
both of them, but
super close.
yeah, mine was.
Again,
That-
for me, if you had to take, if they were going up against anyone else, they could probably be going to the end. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, they're both
Super
very
high
good,
quality.
man.
Definitely
Yeah,
up
I
there.
think the complexity of the flavor on the last one is way higher than the first one. The first one has this kind of melony thing
Uh-huh.
that tends to overpower any of the other nuances of the vinegars or anything else going on in there. But that last one is real
good.
choice, and the heat's perfect on both. I mean, they're both great sauces.
Both came with the heat. I think the first one for me was a little bit hotter than the second one. I'm gonna go Eli on this one just because I don't know, it just really kind of hit me right. And I went back and forth for a minute there, but I think Eli's definitely for me. But
Yeah.
Brian Bennett is the winner of this one, I guess.
Also, Jonathan's vote was for, yeah.
Yeah.
You were the
Okay.
second one, right?
Yep.
All right.
Cool.
Well done all around, man. That was
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was really
No,
close.
Yeah,
This is a
seriously, man.
Good bracket.
Everybody that brought a sauce to the table, thank you so much. This has been difficult and fun, challenging and tongue burning and all the above. Thank you, everyone. Win or lose, I love everyone that brought something to the competition. Thank you.
And that brings us to the end. Stephen Brett's gonna rock us out here with a couple of tunes right here in a second. Again, big thank you to everyone that came out. Mark with Highland, thank you again. Jonathan, good to see you as always. And Joe, I guess we have 3 days here to prepare for the next round.
Yeah, so Tuesday, right?
So
Back
no
to-
hot sauce for the next 3 days.
I'll try, man. I have so much at home. Yeah. No, I'll try. I'll try to lay off in the meantime. Go mild, eat nursing home food or something.
Don't go to an actual nursing home. I hear they're not very safe.
No, I won't do that.
Awesome. Stephen, if you'd like to take the stage and rock us out with a couple of tunes. Again, thank you to IamAVL for streaming this. Thank you for John Hansen with the Orange Peel for working back behind the soundboard. And again, our sponsors, we've got Highland Brewing Company, Bhramari, Wicked Weed, and Highwire, along with Firewalker Hot Sauce. And thanks again. Appreciate it.
Stay healthy, y'all.
One, two, one, two. The other side is all that I can bear in mind. I'm scared to think that after all this time I'm searching round to this. Even if I have to be alone, I'll walk you to the light, walk towards the light, I'll walk you to the light. When lovers quarrel, the end is near. This fight's no one's to win. To think that after all this time I'm searching round to this. Even if I have to be alone, if I need to be alone, I'll walk you to the light, walk towards the light, I'll walk towards the light. The other side is all that I can bear in mind. I'm scared to think that after all this time I'm searching round to this. Even if I have to be alone, if I need to be alone, even if I have to be alone, I'll walk you to the light, walk towards the light, I'll walk you to the light. Hey, thanks, guys. Beware the stairs go nowhere. Let this be the thing that sets you free. So they painted all the doors closed to keep it in the family, please. 'Cause if one day we're gonna wake up to an audience of angels, say sorry or end up like me, tentatively. The revenge you need becomes you, as useful as a puncture in the lungs. And the day will come you'll have to keep it in the family, please. 'Cause if one day we're gonna wake up to an audience of ancient history, don't end up like me, tentatively. invite me. Tentatively. Thank you very much.